Call halal Yahweh Bashim El Shai, Bahashim Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders. Salutations to the Akim, my fellow laborers, the confusion that face Akim, the hopeful elect, the Akwaf that are listening and learning to you. I say Shalom. We're in the Day of Atonement, which is a very important day. All right, it's a day to to atone for your sins in this life and the past. All right, but we know not what we've done. Truth of the matter is that all of our righteousness is as filthy rags, as it is written. And this is a day to purge yourself, to afflict your soul, your spirit, you know, to beg for forgiveness for yourself, for your family, for your children, you know, if you have them, and that sort of thing. So this day is to be taken serious, especially as we draw closer to the inevitable, which is World War III, and all the horrific drama that comes along with it. That's going to be worse than any time in the history of mankind once the blood begins to flow. But without any further ado, this video is from VOA News, and it's called U.S. on collision course with E.U. allies over Iran sanctions, which is fulfilling scriptures about how the beast is going to hate the whore. America is the whore. The beast is NATO, which was controlled by America, but the whore that, you know, the beast that rode upon the whore, or the whore that rode upon the beast, is actually talking about America. And America is finished, and the whole world is turning against it. All right? And it is actually beyond pleasurable watching the destruction of these Edomites on a political scale, you know, on the political stage, here at home, financially, you know, in their country, everything that they thought that they were, their history is being debunked. They're being exposed. You know, the pedophilia, the murder, the rape, the lies, the theft, it's all coming back on them. You know, their birth rates are low. Their older people outnumber their younger people. They're not having babies. And this is one of the reasons why they're so violent and so, you know, so angry. You know, calling the police and you know, the police are calling the police on Jake for every little thing. You know, all this wickedness that they've done is coming back on them. So let's listen to them.
Just hours after being sworn in, new U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo traveled to NATO headquarters in Brussels, where he highlighted how much the United States values the transatlantic relationship as a pillar of world security and stability. But that relationship has taken a hit recently, with the U.S. saying it will sanction any firms that do business with Iran. German Chancellor Angela Merkel spoke in Berlin Tuesday on U.S. President Donald Trump's decision last week to pull out of the Iran nuclear deal.
We've now seen a shift in German-American and European-American relations. While Great Britain, France, and Germany were of the opinion that the agreement against Iran's nuclear armament is an agreement that certainly has weaknesses, it is an agreement we should stand by.
Iran's Foreign Minister Javad Zarif met with his European counterparts in Brussels Tuesday to discuss how to keep the Iran nuclear deal alive.
But it's up to the European Union and European Union member states to make sure that their interests and our interests are protected and that illegality by the United States is not rewarded.
Secretary Pompeo says the nuclear deal created wealth in Iran that drove its malign activity, and that the U.S. withdrawal was not aimed at Europe. But experts say Europeans are furious at the U.S. for reimposing sanctions and feel their options are limited.
So Europeans felt that they are left with absolutely no choice, but that also this administration has no strategy, no plan B. So basically, Americans are decided for Europeans and for the rest of the world that they want to pull out of this deal and reestablishing sanctions, not only for their companies, but also extraterritorial sanctions. and therefore deciding on the fate of the Iran deal for everybody.
Asked by VOA if he thinks there will be a diplomatic standoff over sanctions on Iran, Trump's national security advisor John Bolton said no.
I think inevitably as U.S. sanctions kick in, it'll have an effect on Europe. I think their trade and investment with Iran will drop as well. And I think Iran then faces a very difficult choice.
Bolton added the economic benefits of the Iran deal will soon dry up, and that Iran's economy is already facing difficulties, which led to demonstrations at the end of last year. Tuesday, the State Department announced Pompeo will give his first major foreign policy speech next Monday. The focus, Iran. Cindy Sain, VOA News, the State Department.
So as you can see, this whole thing is falling apart in Esau's face. As this woman clearly said, America is choosing for everyone what they should do. And a lot of these foreign countries, a lot of these EU countries, they have legitimate and legal businesses with Iran. And the other nations are tired of taking the brunt and taking a financial hit just so America can try to have its way. You know, when they stomp their feet and throw a tantrum like an angry little kid on the playground, you know, who couldn't get first slide on the sliding board or something. You know, and the nations are actually quite sick of this, and you're starting to see it plain as day. Plain as day. Another thing, look, America has been in existence 240 something years. 212 of those years they've been at war. And no one has ever attacked America. America's always the antagonist. All right? If you have something that they want, or you don't want to give up something that you have that they want, America will go to war with you. All right? It's simple as that. They'll demonize you with their media, and then they'll come up with some cockamamie story, and they will attack you. Well, they'll even do a terrorist attack, you know, on themselves and blame it on you. This is what they do. It's proven. This is not me saying what I think or feel. This is proven. Okay? They did it to the so-called Native Americans. All right? You know, you have Edomites who dress up in the clothing of the Gadites, go out at night and kill their own people just so they could sick the cavalry on them at a later date. So this has been their MO their whole time of operation. So let me read a couple scriptures, man. Okay? First one being Jeremiah 50, and I'm starting at verse 11. Because you were glad, because you rejoice, O ye destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as a heifer at grass, and as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness and a dry land and a desert. All right? So the mother that birthed America is Britain, man. And Britain is a part of that. These nations are standing up and turning their backside to America. Or even worse for America, they're aiming their guns and their missiles towards you. All right? They're all looking at you sideways, man. Okay? You know, and America and these Edomites in general are the destroyers of the Lord's heritage as well. All right? Because you're constantly taking things that don't belong to you. All right? Quick example. This is Ezekiel 36 and 5. One of my favorite scriptures. I bring it out often. All right? And it reads, Thus saith Yahweh power, surely in the fire of my jealousy I have spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful mass that cast it out for a prey. And they've destroyed our heritage. They destroyed the Israelite heritage and turned it into a Jewish Judaism heritage, which has nothing to do with the Bible. Jewish people in their Judaism, they worship and honor the Talmud, not the Holy Bible. The books of Moses and the book of the Tanakh. You know, the prophets. You know, they don't honor that at all. You know, they hold on to it and they'll use it, the revised versions with all the scriptures about the color of the physical appearance of the Israelites and of God and of what the world English calls God and Jesus. All right. They you know, they use their revised versions where they try to remove all the things that tell you what the Lord's people look like. Okay? Let's go back. Let me read that Jeremiah again. This is Jeremiah 5:11. It says, because ye were glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of my heritage, because ye are grown fat as heifers and as grass and below as bulls, man. So you got rich, you got fat. That's what it's talking about. Not a skinny cow, but a fat cow, man. You tried to eat all the grass and all the plains and leave nothing for none of the rest of the herd, man. You wanted it all. You had more than enough, more than you can eat, and you still wanted more, man. Okay? This is Isaiah 47:6, and it says, and I was wroth with my people, I polluted my heritage, and given them into thine hand, and thou didst show no mercy, as upon the ancient hast thou verily heavily laid a yoke, man. So you not only destroyed our heritage, man, all right, through this transatlantic slave trade, you know, and I mean, man, it's just so much you've done going back thousands of years to the Israelites and to the other nations, man. I mean, you've truly destroyed the earth, these Edomites, man. You know, with the dumping billions of tons, who knows, or millions of tons of garbage into the oceans, man. Now you got this red tide thing. You got the Fukushima things, and you're making the water supply, the food, one of the main support source of life is the oceans, man, and the life that's in it. And what are they doing? The fish, the righteous fish, the dying, along with the Lord's works, which all contribute to the circle of life, man, to the ecosystem that the Lord set up. You're destroying his works, which is going to, and this is why the water is so filthy. You take all the natural cleaners out of it, man. The things that are supposed to be in there that could clean up the message, you take them out. And then you make market of them. And then you sell people poison. Clams are poison, man. Oysters are poison. Crabs and crawfish and lobster, those are the natural cleaners and filters in the ocean. They clean up the garbage, the dirt, the dead carcasses, the fecal matter of the other fish, man. And you take the natural cleaners out, and then you give them to people. And you wonder why people are dying of all these crazy diseases with high cholesterol and all this other craziness that's happening to people, man. Okay? But also, you know, in Salaki, I'm all over the place, man, because, you know, it's been a very, very long day, you know. But nevertheless, man, getting back on point, you destroyed the heritage of the Lord's people, you know, and one of the payments for it is starting to play out. Prophecies are coming to pass as the people of the Lord are waking up, all right? And truth be said, man, we don't have to prove we're the people of the Lord anymore. The relics, the history in the Bible proves that, man. The fact that you went and hid books and changed the meaning of words and, you know, and revised everything and revised even definitions, you did a lot, you know, purposely, in your face, covering up evidence, which really makes it evident what you were trying to hide. Okay? But the time of you Edomites, you know, glorying in your basking, in your lies, your comfortable lies of all being brought down, man. So with that, you know, I hope this was an edifying lesson. Call Halal Yahweh Bashem Abashai Bahashem Rakar Kodash Wa Abba Babal.